Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain Show, only on Crypto TV Plus.
Welcome to a brand new day, brand new week. Today is the 6th of February 2023. Hello and welcome to Inside Blockchain, your one-stop for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host, Faith Ekwari. If this is your first time watching this program, make sure to follow us across all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated in the ever-evolving world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Do want to turn on your post notification button. Now, there's been commotion across the country as regards the low circulation of the redesigned Naira notes and the cash withdrawal policy. The banks have been slow in dispensing the new notes. Point of sales ventures have been overcharging and transacting with customers. It has been a rough beginning of the year for Nigerians. The Nigerians have expressed mixed emotions as to what CBN is trying to achieve, especially when the country is lacking the best infrastructure and technology to achieve a cashless ecosystem. After all the back and forth with the House of Representatives and the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Emefiele decided to extend the deadline for returning the old Naira notes to February 10. Is 10 days enough to push back the old Naira notes back to the banking vaults? How do Nigerians feel about the entire situation? We have our correspondent Sophia Obaka on the streets of Lagos to let us know what is going on. What is happening, Sophia?
Thank you, Faith. We are here on the street of Lagos, and trust me, the street isn't smiling at all. Here at Crypto TV Plus, we are not oblivious to what has been happening in the country as regards to the redesigned new Naira notes, cash withdrawal policy, and also fuel scarcity issue. There's no doubt that the blockchain space cannot thrive in an unsettled environment, and that is why we are here to find out what people think about the low circulation of new Naira note and also cash withdrawal policy. Stay with me, guys. Let's find out.
Transfer is not going. So people are transferring now it's not going. So that's why people come and queue and collect their money.
How do you feel about the low circulation of the new Naira notes?
It's as a result of incompetent leaders, bad leaders, let me say, and they are lackadaisical both physically and spiritually. They have nothing good to offer to us. So we have been seeing from one problem to the other, Please, we need this. Let these people just live so that we can see if we can get fresh breath. Because as for now, I think there's nothing for Nigeria. Let them just live. Let them live. We need somebody who is more younger and well educated. When somebody is well educated, I think that's the person that can handle Nigeria very well. But as for now, if they should check very well, if you are not well educated, that means you are not ready to rule this country. So please let Nigeria just decide for somebody that is. Me, I'm not educated though. I know if they put me there, I will do wrong thing. But let them go for somebody that is well educated and young.
No cash. So it's only this one that is.
I want
we are here since 7 o'clock. See the time now. We didn't collect our money. Crowd is here. We need money. And there's no money. We want to go to house now. There's no money to go to our house now. We don't have money to buy food. We are tired of this Nigeria self.
We are tired though. We are really tired.
We've been here since morning. Due to too much of partiality, the security people are bringing people from outside. We that have been online since morning. We are not, my number is 202. I've been here since 7 o'clock and I've not gotten money.
People want to collect money, So they are queue. So they have been collecting numbers since. But it's like the number is 300 and something. So but now, as you can see, people are ready to collect their money.
No cash. We don't have cash. So it becomes scarce. And you understand that, or you should know that anything that is scarce, the value comes up. So like our Naira now has become like a gold or diamond that is very scarce. So the little one that you see, people are ready to pay anything to get it. And even people that do POS operator, before they get the cash, they pass through a lot of things.
If all the banks are like powerless bank, none of us will be suffering like this. This bank, they are trying. Since this issue has started, since Monday, they've been paying. This bank, I don't have account with them, but I'll open.
When you go to the counter, they'll give you 50 naira. What are we going to use that one to do?
Well, as you can see, it has been a very frustrating week for Nigerians and Nigerians as a whole. There are no redesigned Naira notes to collect, no old notes to collect, and you can't even go over the counter to get money. ATMs are not even dispensing cash. It has been entirely frustrating for Nigerians. My name is Sophia. You're watching Crypto TV Plus.
Thank you, Sophia. It is quite unfortunate to see what is going on in Nigeria. Well, today we'll be having a guest who will be joining us virtually and be giving us more updates on the redesigned Naira note situation. And we'll also be discussing in detail Nigeria's central bank digital currency ENAIRA and how we can leverage the ENAIRA and tokenization in blockchain to restructure Nigeria's financial ecosystem. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll be getting into the conversation. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back, everyone tuning in from around the world. This is Inside Blockchain. If this is your first time watching this program, make sure to follow us across all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated in this world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Do well to turn on your post notification button. Now, 2023 has begun to point out opportunities for the blockchain technology and how blockchain technology can actually hijack in infiltrating into the mainstream financial ecosystem. I'm sure you're wondering how. We'll be having that conversation today in line with how the ENAIRA tokenization on the blockchain and cryptocurrencies can build a more stable economy for Nigeria and Africa. To join in on the conversation is a crypto compliance specialist and the African lead at Global Blockchain Women Alliance, Modupe at TV. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you, Faith. It's good to be here.
It feels great to have you here, by the way. So let's get into the conversation, directly into the conversation. First, let's talk about the redesigned notes alongside the cash withdrawal policy. We had that conversation last week, but it seems to not, to not end. Nigerians have had a hell of a week, especially from banks to the point of sales ventures. What is your opinion on the redesigned notes and how the cash withdrawal policy is being implemented?
Okay, so I think the redesign of the Naira notes in itself is not the problem because it has happened and happens across the world. Different countries at some point or the other make the decision to redesign their notes. Central banks have the right to do this, and it happens from time to time. So I think the problem with this is the implementation, as it is with many things in our country. So the implementation of how it is done and the fact that people are still aware. I've actually taken time to read the bulletins and the newsletters released from the governor of the central bank and how the implementation is supposed to happen. The sad part of it is our monitoring and the evaluation of our situations is not quite catching up. And that's the problem we have with implementation. So, I've seen numerous videos and there's just things out there, people and what they have to go through to be able to access Naira notes, because we're still at the level in the country, unfortunately, where cash is still king. And even for as long as we have claimed that we are operating a cashless policy, cash is still king, and people still need to transact. At least 60% of Nigerians still need to transact on a daily basis using cash. So when there's a scarcity of cash, everything else comes to a standstill. And it's still the common man who would go to the POS machine or the POS attendant and pay heavily to be able to access the same cash.
Amazing. Well, just around the end of January, the CBN governor met with the House of Reps, and one of the reasons among many they presented for introducing the cash withdrawal policy and the new Naira swap is to encourage more people, especially from the rural areas, to go into the former payment system. Right now, we have POS ventures charging high rates for transactions. We have multiple ATM machine points spread across the country, not dispensing cash. We have bank application network not working. In hindsight, do you think it should have been the best time? This should have been the best time to bring in these policies. And why has there not been any response from the Central Bank of Nigeria?
Okay, well, so if you read the bulletin, because I read the bulletin from the governor of the Central Bank. And he says that the reason why he felt it was the right time to do it is because it was long overdue. But again, I think that the implementation, I also believe that the Senate government and those who sit in that position are also they also have their interest to protect, and that's the reason why everybody's thinking, why should there be a shortage of cash? Everyone has things to benefit from an abundance of cash in the society. So when the central bank wants to put more control measures in place, it affects everybody. Well, it is supposed to affect everybody. So my thoughts around this is, again, implementation, because I feel like the scaling of it, I feel it was too abrupt. Even when there was time given, it should have been phased out in bits and not too abruptly. So yes, we have an extension, but even with the extension, there are still issues. We live in a country where everyone tries to monopolize the system for their benefit. Whatever opportunities are at their disposal, they try to take advantage of that position, for their benefit. And so that's what the POS attendant himself is doing, because he what he went through to get the cash to be able to release the cash to people. So the problem, if you ask me, is not with that POS attendant charging 1,000 naira for 10,000 naira withdrawal. He knows what he had to go through, and he probably also had to go through hell and high water to get the cash that he has with him. So implementation and the structuring of it should have been phased out in bits and in phases and not abruptly. I think it happened too quickly, and that's what's going on right now. And my problem is, if you look at the videos and see what's happening, if this is happening in the major cities of the country, Lagos, Abuja, in Port Harcourt, we can only just imagine what is happening in the rural areas and how people there are coping with it.
There have been a lot of videos, coming out to show how frustrated Nigerians have been. And as you can see from, the Vox Pop we had with Sophia, who is on the streets of Lagos, finding out from Nigerians, you can see that a lot of Nigerians are really perplexed, about the entire situation. And the conversation has still been resonating around the question of if we have the right infrastructure, the technological capacity, and the technical know-how to restructure the economical and financial environment in Nigeria, which we don't have. And I think that is where blockchain and cryptocurrency and also the Nigeria Central Bank digital currency ENAIRA comes to play. But before we get into blockchain and cryptocurrency, let's start with the ENAIRA. Why hasn't it taken center stage to be used for financial transactions in Nigeria? Don't you think this should have been one of the best times for the ENAIRA to scale optimally in Nigeria? Instead of, going to take out cash, why not we just start using the ENAIRA? What is the stumbling block? What is stopping the ENAIRA from scaling in Nigeria?
Okay, so you're exactly right. This should have been the best time for us to take advantage of the digital currencies. And again, we live in a country, Nigeria we still have 80 to 85% of our population that do not trust digital currencies. They don't understand what they are, and I don't blame people. So people are not willing to risk. This is money we're talking about here. So people are not willing to take risks for what they don't understand. So the rollout policy for the ENAIRA, I think it was really weak. We had these television presentations, adverts, TV adverts talking about ENAIRA, but they didn't really explain to people. So I think it is a collective responsibility to explain to people how this can work best. People don't understand it. I even feel like a lot of people who work in the Central Bank of Nigeria itself don't really understand the value. They haven't seen much value in using it. It's legal tender. It's supposed to be readily available. It's supposed to be able to be used to do everything. And really, I was a very big ENAIRA advocate before it started. I actually wrote a paper on the launch of the ENAIRA because I felt like, wow, finally the Nigerian government is, being forward thinking and, trying to think about how, Nigeria for the first time will not be at the backside of what's going on in the world. And I'm really excited about being the first country, African country, to launch a central bank digital currency. But people don't understand it. They still don't know what it is. And walking around the streets of Nigeria, asking questions, conducting surveys, I barely know anyone who has downloaded those wallets, the speed wallet, either the merchant wallet or the individual wallet. I downloaded them myself when I first started, when it first came out. But I don't know anyone else who has done that. I'm sure there are people. But personally, I don't know anyone who has done that and taken advantage of it. People are just comfortable with the way they have been dealing with currency. So I think awareness is where we're all missing it. People don't know what it is. They don't understand it. And that's why the adoption rate is very slow.
Now, I think we should start learning what, building more education system around what the ENAIRA is, what cryptocurrency and blockchain is to help the cash system. And this is, a direct message to CBN. Try as much as possible to bring in more awareness so people can, move from the cash environment to a cashless environment where it's easy to make transactions, in Nigeria. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with conversation with Modupe, who is joining us virtually to talk about the ENAIRA tokenization and blockchain and the entire situation around the redesigned Naira notes and the cash withdrawal policy. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome into the metaverse on Crypto TV Plus. In today's video, we're going to be taking a portal into the Axie Infinity metaverse. So what's in the Axie Infinity metaverse? Axie Infinity is a turn-based play-and-earn card game that involves non-fungible tokens and virtual currencies. It's most generally portrayed as a Pokemon-style game in which you engage with virtual pets named Axies rather than Pokemon. NFTs are Axies and in-game objects, whereas cryptocurrency tokens...
Don't get stuck in the past. Get all the latest news and happenings on blockchain and cryptocurrency only on Crypto TV Plus.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bo of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that dial. Peace.
Welcome back, everyone tuning in from around the world. I wish we were having a conversation that wasn't as stressful and mentally frustrating as this one, but we really have to have it so that we could, get to the bottom of what's happening in Nigeria, especially when it comes to the financial and economic system, in Nigeria. If this is your first time watching this program, make sure to follow us across all social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated. Do well to turn on your post notification button. Modupe, we're still having this conversation around the redesigned Naira notes, tokenization, blockchain, and cryptocurrency. Now, among the interviews I've had with financial experts, the question of what the difference between the normal Naira and the ENAIRA has always risen. What can the ENAIRA do at this point to remedy the situation we have on ground? I know you talked about bringing in more awareness so people understand, people are educated on what the ENAIRA is. What can we do right now? Let's move on to practical steps, practical solutions that the ENAIRA can bring in to help help the Niger system at this point? Because I was reading a news article from the INEC saying that they probably will have an issue when it comes to transportation and logistics in moving, moving about the ballot boxes and the rest of the INEC or election materials. We need to have a situation solution right now. And how can ENAIRA do that? Okay, so first of all, what I would like to say about that is that if the adoption rate was higher and the ENAIRA would have remedied this issue because it is stable, it's the same value with the Naira, it is legal tender, and we should not be having this problem. You know what the central bank did and the design of the ENAIRA and the idea behind it is really amazing. That was one of the reasons why I was an advocate, and I'm still an advocate. If people would allow the proper use of this currency, I'm still an advocate. Now, what's the reason why I'm an advocate for this? The intention was the central bank has several tiers. So there was tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4, which represents different groups of people. And for the first time, the central bank considered the unbanked. Now, the people who were supposed to, the tier 1 group of people, are people who only have access to their telephone number. So just with your telephone number, you can register and you have a wallet and use the ENAIRA. So these are the unbanked population, which still accounts for quite a large population of especially small and medium, micro business people in Nigeria. The market woman down the road, she still has a mobile phone and she can register, use the ENAIRA, receive payments and send payments. So especially for that tier of people at the moment, which are having the most difficult issues with cash, if this ENAIRA was rolled out properly. Now, this is my idea of a proper rollout. The rollout was done too much at high level. You know the way the banks go into the marketplaces and advertise to people and say, come and register, open an account, we'll bring everything we need to you here in the bank. I think that is the level the CBN should have gone to. And, working through the banks as well to ensure that people are properly educated and aware that we can use this. Just the way you can make a transfer and the woman can receive her alert on the phone, even if you bought a car along the road. I think that if there was a proper rollout, she has her mobile phone. From your wallet, you transfer to her wallet. She gets it immediately. The benefits of the blockchain, which is fast, cheap, secure transactions, she will benefit from as well. And she's unbanked, but the ENAIRA will provide financial inclusion for her. And she's able to take advantage of digital technology, digital currency. And with a proper rollout, this is what should have happened. So right now, the situation is really, really tense. So I don't know how they're actually going to, still get around this. So I think when things calm down, the central bank, in conjunction with the commercial banks and every other financial institution, should really sit down and think about a proper rollout plan, because there is no country in this world, well-developed countries, I would say, our dependence on cash is too much. And this is what I'm seeing as the ENAIRA could have helped us circumvent the challenges that we're going through at the moment. There was even a recent launch, ENAIRA version 2.0, not too recent, but ENAIRA version 2.0, not because there was anything different. There was no difference, but it was an idea to relaunch in hope of getting more adoption. But it didn't work because the adoption method was the awareness creating method was still the same. I heard about it, but then I was not as excited about it even as the first time, because nothing much was done to ensure that the people at the grassroots know and understand the use of this technology. And when you were talking, you said something about rolling out a plan. a solution plan. And I see that even if the ENAIRA is finding it hard to get adoption, blockchain space, the blockchain technology is something that is revolutionizing the world. Just a word, just saying blockchain, a lot of people know about it. So if we're trying to delve deeper, okay, let's delve deeper into the blockchain conversation. Tokenization on the blockchain can improve liquidity and make financial transactions convenient and help secure ownership rights, right? Now, how can we leverage tokenization to bridge into the financial mainstream system in Nigeria, especially in implementing real change and transforming the economic ecosystem in Nigeria? Now, we're moving into no longer a theoretical conversation, a practical one at that. And as I said, ENAIRA has its best time as now to scale optimally. And I think the blockchain space also should also thrive on this moment of inconvenience that Nigerians are facing to help, show what blockchain can do. So how can we leverage tokenization? How can we leverage blockchain technology to bridge into this financial mainstream system to implement real change?
Okay, so it's a very good question, because at this moment, with especially even with the ENAIRA, and I'm sorry I'm going back to that, but when you talk about blockchain and tokenization, the only place you can have a voice if there is a way to connect it with the ENAIRA. You can only have a voice in Nigeria to speak about digital currencies if there is a platform or a plugin to our current central bank digital currency. Obviously, other digital currencies are not recognized. And what I mean by that is that you're not legally allowed to trade with them. They can't stop you, but then you can't trade with the banks. So I think with blockchain and tokenization, the central bank giving us an opportunity, or giving people, we have very talented, intelligent people in this country, people who know what they're doing when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to smart contract auditing. And these processes can actually be made open anywhere in the world. People can test our work. Our developers in Nigeria are actually going out there and doing great things, projects all over the world. But here, the prophet is without honor in his own home. My point is being able to have an API plug into the digital currencies, so that this is the future of commerce. This is the future of trade. This is the future of money. It is the future of work. How people can leverage on the blockchain technology, leverage on digital and virtual currencies, leverage on opportunities around the world with the ENAIRA. If there is a plugin, yeah, the ENAIRA is stable at par with the Naira. But what the other currencies are, whatever the other trade opportunities are available, we can plug them in and then still receive value. And I think this would also be beneficial for the central bank, not just to see the ENAIRA as an avenue to control the movement and the flow of digital currencies in Nigeria, but seeing it as an opportunity for growth and increase, financial inclusion, just opportunities for people to improve their lives, improve the economy of the country. And if I believe that if people begin to see this, then it's going to be different. Let's look at the developed countries of the world now. Let's look at America, the UK, and the places and the countries that have regulation in place, and which is another problem. If we have proper regulation in place, I believe that people will come out there and trade legally, and we will not be too scared of whatever scams, which is what people are mostly scared about. What's blockchain? They think, oh, it's a scam. This is this opportunity that blockchain has brought, disruption that it has brought into the world, would also be obvious here. Most of the major companies in the world have either developed their own blockchain or have plugged into some either private or public blockchain, and they are improving their business, improving their processes, increasing inclusion, connecting with more companies around the world, and they are doing well. And it's not just about crypto. So it doesn't have to be a bull market or a bear market, but it's more about the traditional technology, the foundation that people are also benefiting from, companies are benefiting from, individuals are benefiting from, conducting businesses, doing legal businesses, creating opportunities, creating jobs, and people are being well off. People's lives are getting better. So I believe that what should be done is to encourage education. Is, for me, it still comes back to the education, because people do not take advantage of what they don't know or what they don't understand. So even for the central bank, being a little more open-minded to accept APIs. Now, the truth is the technology is open source. You want to take permission and you want to be able to legally plug in to this central bank digital currency and create opportunities. So if I receive a payment in stable coins for a service that I have offered to some foreign company, I can use the plug into the ENAIRA, convert it to Naira, and I have Naira in my wallet, and I would still spend Naira. I don't have to spend dollars. I don't have to spend euros or pounds. I can spend Naira. So I think the possibilities, the limitless possibilities, need to be made, need to be understood and need to be taken advantage of. I think the CBN should, let's have a sit down with people, collaborate. Let's collaborate and see how best can this thing work. It's been on for well over a year now, since October 2021, and it hasn't worked as we expected to. And I don't think this is just slow adoption. This is almost no adoption. So we need to think about how best we can take advantage of the opportunity and let it not just be a waste, another waste. Let it be a technology this time that would actually make a difference, because it can, and we have seen it happen everywhere else around the world.
In moving to the solution, in moving to the light, do you think that in building a more friendly regulatory framework for both the blockchain space and the fintech space, especially blockchain, do you think it would be right to have people or institutions build tokens, especially when it comes to day-to-day transactions and activities, from transportation to food? Imagine having the popular, transportation systems have tokens for, paying transactions or paying for transactions or paying for some of the services that they provide, or having a food store have tokens for, the food that they sell, or, groceries that they sell. How do you think this can happen? And how do you think the collaboration between the blockchain space and the federal government and the public space can happen to build a more decentralized system, a more cashless environment, and a more stable economy for Nigeria, especially from the aspect or from the point of view of tokenization?
Okay, so I think the first thing I'll say is that tokenization is an amazing concept, and I believe it is one that has come to even help people build wealth. Because from what you're saying now, examples that you're giving, just imagine fractional ownership of one bolt, fractional ownership of 100 bolts, which tokenization makes possible. And it will help people build wealth, because here they can take advantage of tokens, and when there's regulation, maybe I should even start by saying that, where there is no law, where there is no regulation, then lawlessness will thrive. And the reason why people can literally do whatever it is they want to do is because there's no regulation. When we have regulation in place, then people can legally issue tokens, and then value can begin to, the token economics of whatever projects that they are working on can begin to increase and grow. So, but now, if I were to issue tokens and there's no regulation, people will wonder, is she just coming to introduce something to scam us? Because there's no regulation. How am I sure? A more friendly regulatory environment is always good, because first of all, it will push out the bad actors, maybe not entirely, but to a really large extent, because blockchain is so secure, blockchain is so transparent, that it's the easiest crime to track, and people don't really understand that as well. If there's crime in the field of blockchain, it's found out like this. There's even a tool you plug in, you don't need to sweat. and then you find out where the problem is coming from. So, but the opportunities for tokenization that come in with regulation is what will make people, it will help people build wealth. It will increase opportunity. It will help people do well and do better, different areas and aspects of their lives. You gave an example just now. Imagine a food company, and Walmart does this. So Walmart, first of all, has a lot, and they get a lot of products on the blockchain, so they can monitor from the day something is planted until the day it comes into their shops on the shelves. And then there is tokenization in their system. So when they share the opportunities amongst people who maybe are shareholders, or people take advantage, people who are using their products, their shareholders, and you can imagine owning a fraction of Walmart, and you're maybe in a village in, I don't know, Asaba, but it's out there and it's open, and you can take advantage of this. And every month you get your tokenized fees sent to you, you receive it, and it passes through the ENAIRA plugin to your own ENAIRA account. It's fantastic. So the opportunities are limitless. I mean, when it comes to blockchain, you can sit down and just keep dreaming, and for every one of us to take the opportunity that this disruption has brought in and improve the quality of our lives.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We had a blast, talking to you, especially on this conversation that is very sensitive at this moment. Nigerians are not happy at all. And, it's moving from education to also regulation and adoption. And the subject of education and regulation is just moving hand in hand. And we see 2023 as a year to regulate more, even from the traditional financial system to also the blockchain space, so that we can have a more stable environment for users and traders to also, innovate and build. Thank you, Modupe, for joining us. I hope that the next time we're talking, we're going to be including the GBWA conversation and knowing what next for GBWA especially. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And that'll be all on today's program. You can get more market updates and all the happenings captured within the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency on our website, cryptotvplus.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at cryptotvplus to get daily info on our programs. Thank you for staying with us. I am Faith Ekwari. I had Modupe who joined us to talk about the redesigned Naira notes, ENAIRA tokenization, and blockchain technology. I'll see you next week. Thank you.